Welcome back, everybody. It is now 6:29. I'm Nada Iranpour.
And I'm Eric Connor. Let's get right to our top story here this morning. The search is picking back up for a missing teenager after a rip current dragged him out from Mission Beach. 2 other teenagers are safe.
CBS 8's Dana Marie McNichol live in Mission Beach right now. At least we're getting that daylight. What will be happening there this morning, Dana Marie?
Eric and Nana, the recovery efforts continue. You can even hear and see that Coast Guard helicopter off in the distance, flying over the shoreline. It's been going back and forth all morning long. Lifeguards tell us they are still looking for that missing 18-year-old in the water. They say 3 teens were standing on a sandbar when they swept away.
We had a vessel on scene, a rescue vessel on scene within 10 seconds. We had in-surf, hard hull rescue boats on scene, divers. We deployed free divers, people with masks and snorkels that searched the entire area.
It all happened around 3:30 yesterday afternoon. A San Diego fire rescue lifeguard was watching the beach near Jersey Court in Mission Beach, spotted a group of swimmers and noted that one appeared to be in distress. Lifeguards had a quick response, making it out to the scene within 10 seconds. The chief lifeguard told us that the teen just slipped under the surface as they rescued the 2 others. After 70 minutes of searching, the rescue efforts changed into a recovery effort, using sonar and helicopters to search. Authorities say the rip current was very strong yesterday, which made the search even more challenging. Now, we do have some information for you this morning. Just moments ago, we spoke to a group of teens who told us they are friends of that missing teen. They were standing on the shoreline this morning looking out into the ocean. They told us they just graduated from Crawford High School 2 days ago, picked up their diplomas yesterday, and came to hang out at Mission Beach when the incident happened. They also told us a teacher of the recent grad is also here this morning speaking to lifeguards. Of course, this recovery effort will continue well into the morning. We will be live here all morning long, bringing you any updates that we receive about this missing 18-year-old in the water. And we do want to send it over to Evan for a look at that rip current forecast, because if you're a visitor here in San Diego, someone coming to our beaches, you need to know that this is a very dangerous thing.
Absolutely, Dana Marie, thank you. And as you mentioned, a lot of kids are graduating from middle school, high school, and heading out to the coastline. And in many cases, this is the first time that they're doing it maybe alone or without supervision from parents. If that is the case, number one, you need to be by a lifeguard. So be by that lifeguard and check in with that lifeguard if you're getting in the water, so that they can let you know what conditions look like once you get in the water. You got to know your limits while you're in the water. If you're not a skilled swimmer or surfer, do not head too far into that water. Don't get really even farther in past knee deep. It is always best to swim near a lifeguard, like I mentioned. If caught in a rip current, you are asked to stay calm, number one, and then swim parallel to the shore. Do not try to swim onto the shoreline. That is just going to tire you out significantly within less than a minute or minutes. Important to swim parallel to the water. That'll get you out of the rip current, and once you're out of it, you can swim back to the shoreline. But if you're trying to swim against that rip current, you're not going to be successful. That's how people tire out and then end up drowning. So important to make sure that you're aware of that safety. You can find more information online as to how to stay safe out of those rip currents. But a very, very important trend that we see, of course, as we now head into the summer months. Eric?
All right, Evan, thank you for that. Very helpful. This morning, deputies in San Marcos need your help finding a man who was caught on camera here shooting at another man. Thankfully, no one was hurt in this. Happened on May 1st in the parking lot of the 49er Bar and Grill on West Mission Road near Knoll Road. The gunman, described as Hispanic, between 5'6" and 5'8", about 170 pounds, with black hair. Last seen wearing glasses, a gold chain, as well as a black shirt and pants with white shoes. Anyone with any information on this is asked to call the sheriff's deputies.
County leaders are moving forward with plans to make our schools safer. They're trying to. One measure allows the county to assist school districts with programs and infrastructure. It directs county staff to work with schools to determine their needs and then report back to the Board of Supervisors with proposed plans to then assist them. This morning, a local leader pushing back against the potential release of a sexually violent predator in Borrego Springs. State Senator Brian Jones is asking a San Diego judge to reject the release of this man, 69-year-old Michael Martinez, at a home in that area. According to the county, Martinez was convicted in 4 separate cases between 1979 and 2004 for offenses involving children. Senator Jones says constituents have expressed concerns. A hearing on this man's release is scheduled early July.
Today marks another step in the ongoing changes happening at San Diego International Airport. The Terminal 1 parking lot and pedestrian bridge will close.
CBS 8's Chris Groh joining us live at the airport with everything we need to know. We know there are so many people planning those trips. Chris, what can you tell us?
Especially here during the summertime. And look, construction was already going on what will be the new Terminal 1, and now parking at Terminal 1 is no longer possible. So you really do want to pay attention if you've got some summer travel plans that are happening moving forward. Now, for the cars that were still in that Terminal 1 parking lot as of yesterday, they've been towed. So first of all, if you're listening to this right now and thought that your car was safely parked at Terminal 1, you might want to check with the airport to see where it was towed to, because they are getting ready to demolish that Terminal 1 parking lot and put up a brand new parking structure. It will be a 5-story parking plaza with 2 sky bridges. Now, work on that will likely not start for quite some time. They did say that they don't want to start even demolition of the current sky bridge that's in place until after the 4th of July holiday, so that people are not experiencing too much that is going on. But even beyond that, the #1 tip that we are hearing from the airport is to arrive early, to do more preparation than you already do, because a lot of people that used to drive to the airport and park, they're going to have to do that now at Terminal 2, then catch the shuttle to get over here to Terminal 1.
Arrive early. Plan your trip early to the airport. There is congestion. Second is parking. Parking is limited. We do have parking in our Terminal 2 parking plaza, but if you plan to park there, don't plan on just driving here and parking. Make a reservation in advance.
And again, to go ahead and make a reservation at the Terminal 2 parking lot, you can go to our website, cbs8.com. We've got a link there to the San Diego International website, and that is very important. In fact, the best tip that we've received so far is that when you get your ticket, make sure that you reserve your parking spot as well, too. Netta and Eric?
Stop illegal vending! Stop illegal vending!
4th of July is coming up quick. It's time to turn this park back over to the families of the city to use this park.
So this morning, Mission Beach residents, they are saying they're fed up and frustrated with the many street vendors that we see there. Mission Beach Town Council calling on the city of San Diego to enforce its ban on vendors in busy areas, an ordinance that'll require vendors to apply for business licenses and permits to sell at beaches, boardwalks, and tourist destinations. All goes into effect next week. But we talked to a jewelry seller who says there are vendors doing things the right way.
For me, when I hand make everything and I feel like I'm doing everything right, like I'm just asking, tell me what to do, where to be, and how to do it, and I'll do it. But it's like we're not even getting that option.
So yeah, there's a battle there along the boardwalk. Officials say they're trying to find a balance between neighbors and advocacy groups, but they did not provide a timeline for when that could happen.
This morning, people in North Park are frustrated over mosquitoes and a bad smell on their block. They tell us it's a draining problem from a home in the neighborhood, so these big puddles form. A viewer sent us video that says that this home's sprinkler system is overwatering its lawn, creating those puddles. They say the water doesn't drain well, leaving a growing, smelly, dirty puddle, and they tell us it's been happening for years.
Everyone pays a good amount of rent, and we live in a beautiful community, so if we could nip this in the bud and get proper drainage out here to alleviate the problem, I think that'd be a great thing for the community.
Well, we're working for you on this issue. We reported it to the City of San Diego's Water Waster Hotline, and we also filed a report through the city's Get It Done app. And remember, if there is an issue you'd like us to look into, email us at yourstories@cbs8.com.
And you think of sprinklers that are overwatering lawns. Every drop, can it fall from the sky, please?
Yeah, right?
Come
All
on.
we
It's so
get,
dry.
it's amazing because we do still get the complaints even with just a misting,
Right.
but it is not enough to count as measurable precipitation, and that's what we've been waiting for. We haven't seen any in the month of June. We only saw 2 100ths in the month of May. That means for May and June, we are way below where we want to be, and you've probably heard me say it a million times. If we go all the way back to October, the start of our water year, we're about 4, 5, 6 inches in total accumulation of rain that we're below normal. So we could really use more, but we have now entered the season where it seems like we are going to barely get a couple 100ths between now and, say, August. That's what we're hoping, is that we could get some wet weather in the mix. But all we do instead is get a little bit of a misting along the immediate coastline attached and embedded into that marine layer. So here's the marine layer right now. We see it across the county coastline. As you head inland, your western valleys see some cloud cover. These clouds are pretty low down to the ground, below 2,000 feet, meaning we are encountering a bit of fog, but the forecast for the day does overwhelmingly favor sunshine. That means that countywide we should encounter it. Coastline is going to be the possible spot to run into more clouds, and it's also where the sea breeze is going to continue to keep temperatures more moderate. So upper 60s and low 70s. Inland, we climb to the mid 80s. It's going to be hot out there. 85 for your mountains, with Julian moving toward 90 degrees this afternoon. Deserts are moving to 107 as your forecast high. So here's where visibility is right now. Looks like we actually socked in quite a bit of Ramona. So Ramona is now at less than half a mile of visibility. 6 miles in Oceanside and Miramar, 2.5 in Fallbrook. So it is limited out there in some spots. This is a promising sight in that it does usually mean that that marine layer will pull back and clear out relatively quickly. So we'll keep you up to date on that. Of course, we're following it all morning long. In just a bit, we'll take a look at the 8-day forecast and talk about what's in store for the rest of your day and the rest of the work week, where tomorrow we warm up again and then we cool down as we head toward the weekend. As far as traffic goes, things are not too wild on the roads out there. We're seeing things pretty quiet to start off the morning. Let's see if we have that on here. May not. There we go. Okay, so yeah, as you can see, cones on there indicating construction that is ongoing. However, not seeing any major crashes or collisions. Looks like down toward the South Bay from Chula Vista through downtown, the 805 northbound is seeing some slight congestion. Earlier, the Coronado Bridge was as well, but not doing too bad as of now. Still keeping you up to date on this. The southbound 5 and the 805 last USA exit ramp are going to be closed today from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. That means if you are trying to head south on the 5 or 805, you're not going to be able to get off on that last USA exit. You're going to have to exit in San Ysidro if you don't want to head over the border. So could cause some congestion in the area. Already has looked to cause some on the 5 southbound. So something to keep in mind between 7 a.m. and 3 p.m. today.